here's your Tar review. Let me bring it back up. Because you messaged me and you had a disagreement with me.
I don't think I messaged you. I think I put on Discord and you saw it. So
yes, I was like, hey, well, what are you talking about? Now I was talking around. I know there's one issue in the film I kind of talked around because I didn't want to ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
But now the movie's out, and can I say I saw it a second time in a theater with my lovely girlfriend, and we were the only people in the theater. Literally, when I went and saw Ticket to Paradise, packed theater like that. This is weird. We went to see Tar. We were literally the only people in the theater.
Yeah, I think there were 10 people. There were 10 people in my theater when I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it last Friday.
All right. Now, you had some issues with my review. What were those issues?
Well, the issue, I think, let's just state, both you and I agree this is a great movie. This is, I think Cate Blanchett gives the performance of a lifetime. It's kind of a masterclass for me in acting. And so Cate Blanchett is the reason to see this movie. But, the feeling I got when I heard your review was that this was kind of a indictment on cancel culture. And when I watched it, I'm going, no, this is the story of a predator. And, so I feel like we've seen the same movie. Maybe you were dancing around that.
No. Okay. There is an amazing scene
Absolutely.
In the middle of the movie where she takes down one of her students who is writing music, and he says something to the effect of, well, as a BIPOC, non-binary,
pangendered.
Pangendered as a BIPOC pangendered, and he was kind of like picking apart the cis white male composers,
like which was Bach. He was referring to Bach.
We're talking about Bach, and she rips him a new asshole. But what the movie does is it's a great scene, and when I saw the movie with a packed audience, people laughed and it got a big reaction.
Yeah.
But the movie has it both ways. So that scene exists in the film where she does this, but what ends up happening is someone captures this on video, kind of edits it to make her look even worse.
Yeah.
And then it goes on social media, which contributes to her getting canceled.
Yeah, but the thing is that what you just mentioned doesn't happen until far into the end of the movie.
Right.
So there's everything that happens in between, which is, to me, basically she's a villain in this movie. No doubt about it. And she's not a Weinstein villain, but I would say she's more along the line of what Kevin Spacey has been alleged to have done.
Right.
In terms of grooming, and using, it's the weird thing about artists and their passion about art is somehow that seems to turn them into kind of predators at that point. Mm-hmm. And so that's the story. It's just her power as a conductor, her passion as an artist, and how she uses it to basically control and manipulate people around her. And I will say this, the best thing I could say about this movie, aside from Cate Blanchett's performance, is the script. There's a lot of talking in this movie, and it's a lot of philosophizing about music, conducting, the interpretation of music from the composer, and how a conductor, all that stuff. It's not boring at all. I mean, I thought I'd be bored to death from all this talking, but it's so well written that it's engaging, and it makes a lot of sense. I'll say one thing about that scene you were talking about where she eviscerates the woke student.
Right.
That's a one shot. And I believe that shot goes not only goes 15 minutes, but the camera and her moves everywhere within that lecture hall. And it is an amazingly constructed scene. And the next best thing about this movie is the sound design. This is a movie you have to see in a movie theater. I hate to say it, and with good sound. The use of sound as kind of a Poe's telltale heart just works brilliantly in terms of how things are placed, how sounds are placed. There's a point where there's a honking car. And I swear to God that I thought it was a car in the parking lot whose alarm kept going off, until you realize, no, this is in the background of the movie, and it plays in a way that is never drawn attention to, but you notice it, and it builds the tension of the scene. So this movie is so well constructed that I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I will say that scene you're talking about with the woke student, for a second I had to go, is this just one take? Is this one shot? And I
It's
think
one shot.
it's one shot, and it goes on like for a long time, and then it kind of moves positions. She moves sort of. She's on the stage. She comes off the stage. She walks into the it's not boring. It's not just a single shot. The camera moves. She moves around. It follows her. The whole thing is one take, and it's amazing. Now, yes, I may have. Oh, it's just interesting to see this in a Hollywood movie. What Hollywood movie rips on woke culture? I name one.
Yeah. Well, this is the two-edged sword. She rips on woke culture, but at the same time, she's villainized throughout the rest of the film.
Yeah,
and
I mean, she is. I mean, yes, she's the protagonist, and she does horrible things, manipulative. I don't want to get into too many of the specifics, but yeah, I'm disappointed. This is also not a wide release movie. It's not a movie you would see in wide release, I think. I know they did sort of an early release and then expanded to more screens, but I'm just surprised that scene was even in a movie in a way that, like, because I'm in the audience saying, oh, I kind of agree with every single thing that she just said. And the guy's having sort of a debate with her about, because you see the student like have this music that he's composed, and it's shit. It's awful. It's like this super experimental, like, where the hell is it going? She rips apart his composition and then rips apart his philosophy and his obsession with identity politics, to the point where she says to him, like, you got to get off social media, great. It's just, so I love it because, look, yes, it's a very long scene and an important scene in the movie because, the scene, what happens, those events that occur during that scene come back to haunt her, right? And it contributes to other things that she's involved in. So it's sort of the culmination of all of her evil deeds come back to bite her. But if you're not paying attention to the very end of the film, you're going to be really confused to the thing that's at the very, it's not the climax of the movie per se. It's sort of this little button, but it's so bizarre to have that, like, that's the button, right?
Yeah.